Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another stream. And here we are with the title Tuesday with just barely about 10 seconds to go. So I could barely get to the just chatting stream screen. And here the game has already begun. Hi, Ganesh. How are you? I saw that you met Suhani for the first time after, I don't know, after knowing her for how many years. But welcome everyone. And there we have the first round of the title Tuesday. So I'm not going to be reading chats in between the games. So in case you are tuning in and wondering why I'm ignoring you, it's probably because I'm playing. We start with the Sicilian defense. Title Tuesday, how many people have turned up today? 565 players. I guess a fair amount of people are playing in a line in the Asian Championship with the participation of Russia this year. And then there are also a few people playing in Romania in a decently strong tournament. And I think we also have a Hungarian league was going on till yesterday. I don't know if it's on today. And it's 9G5. I should have played hit 6. Okay, so this is some little bit of problems for us. Next move we need hit 6. If he goes G4, we may have some issues. In the meanwhile, if there are any issues with the audio or the video, kindly wait till the end of this game for us to get it fixed. .565 has grown to 590, and we even have the first winner of the round, a W women grandmaster from China. And how's the ping? G4. This is what I thought he would do. We are in a little bit of a spot of a bother here, I think. But let's try and bluff as if we are not. Need at least one move to be able to play it. This is the idea. But he can just do knight into b6. Knight into b6 and we are in massive trouble. Bishop b7 I'll need to play. Knight 8, bishop 8. The only hopeful factor is the amount of time my opponent is taking. Which seemed a little bit unwarranted. Actually, I feel he can just win a piece, yeah. It's just a piece of. He doesn't go for it. All these things are a bit of an encouraging factor that the opponent is not playing at his best. Some lack of fluency in blitz or fear. D4 feels a bit wrong. Okay, for now, I'll start with h6, attacking the knight, pushing it away. Gets rid of a lot of different tactics. Now I think I can just take the pawn for now. Please we get one pawn back. And keep the pressure on the clock as much as we can. So defend this. It's a pin, so we get out of it. Or should we take this one? I think we should get out of the pin. Should be okay. Thinking about queen d7 also. Hard to sense the difference between both the moves. Queen e6 attacking this pawn. I guess I'll just make a little modification. Could have done this the previous move as well, but now if he plays bishop into a5, I'm going to go knight f4. That's the idea. And now we have a little bit of counterplay, I think. Okay, this already feels wrong. He has a queen c8 check, so for now he survives, but I think that's just one move. Now we have a better position, although still some work to do. I mean, this is just a winning position for black. I will take this. Now we start pushing. Completely lost position at the beginning, but okay. Which tournament, Ganesh? Hi, Sanket. Yeah, it is in August. Are you like back to India for good, or are you just here temporarily? A temporary visit. Hi, Kite Gaming. What's up, everyone? Do hit that like button as you're here, so that uh, more people get the notification that I am live. YouTube is clearly not going to be doing that notification thing. Hi Srinath has been semi-retired now. It's his fourth tournament withdrawal in the last 6 months, with the recent one being TP Signal. Well, what can I say? I don't know. I don't have any exclusive private information on this or something. But yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking of so many married jokes about whether pulling out from tournament after tournament after tournament. What's the four tournaments though? I mean, TP Sigman is one. Then what are the other few tournaments? At least one thing is clear with the amount of tournament. I mean, the amount of pulling out Vidit is doing is clearly not going to compete with Magnus anytime soon. Hi, you're going to Poland. Hello, Sahej. What's up? Are you playing an actual offline tournament right now, or are you skipping Title Tuesday? What's your rating these days, Sahej? I guess there's still Yeah. We have the second round going on, and I'm playing Nicholas Huschenbeck. Oops, the game has begun. Nicholas is actually pretty decent, pretty strong GM actually. I'm surprised I'm playing him in the second round. He used to be about 2600 back in the day. I'm not sure if his rating has reduced or if it is still the same. Although in general, by default, people have been losing rating quite often post pandemic. So by default, I assume that people have lost rating. I mean, if Chess Numbers India has the data, maybe he'll work out a. Oh, did I just blend or something? See, this is why I don't stream. I definitely did blend or something, but maybe I have a lucky difference. In any case, the way I played feels dreadfully wrong, but I think I'm surviving for now. And this is probably also what my opponent was thinking about. But queen d5, he threatens both bishop a6 and queen into g2, likely forcing me to lose at least a pawn. At the very least, a pawn. I didn't see any other way to survive that one, but let's see if we can pretend to have some compensation. So queen d5. Queen d5 is perfectly okay for black already, because bishop h6 is always bishop f6. Goes queen f6, which also should be fine for black, but I felt d5 was the better square for the queen. Now maybe the queen can just go to h4 and trade, and here's a better pawn structure as well. So black is just cruising. Okay, I am forced to trade. There's no other option. Trying to get the pawn to a5. So we trade more pawns. Now we are trying to make a draw. Is bishop f6. Bishop f6, we probably do bishop c2. So kind of rook c8. Maybe this rook to c8. Which is something like rook e8 is an option for black. But then I just move my bishop. Yeah. Bishop e5 is something I want to play, but also I'm hesitant. But I think I'll just go for it. See, in chess, there is a simple concept. Everything gets traded, it's a draw. Pawns, pieces. Now, rook d8, I'm thinking a5. So that, yeah, so things are getting traded one by one. But the thing is, if we go into a complete minor piece endgame, the presence of these pawns can give some winning chances. So here I feel inclined to respectfully decline the trade offer. Now, this is something now I'll trade this pair of rooks, but for now I'll keep these pair of rooks on the board. also have some ideas of knight b5, but I don't really see it being all that effective at the moment. Strengthening this point and also paving the way for rook c8. If I do go knight b5, what would his response be? Yeah, this is what I thought he would play. But then now I can play knight a7, rook into c3, and bishop a4. I'm just going for it. But he has rook c7 now, and if bishop into d7, he takes the knight, and my rook is pinned, unfortunately. So rook c7, I'll probably need to come knight b5. So, but I can play knight b5 and start pushing my a pawn, creating counterplay. So he goes knight c5. I think my logical continuation should be to. I can't go a6 for sure, so we'll probably need to take pawn. Not need to, but it makes sense from my perspective to take the pawn. Okay. Yeah, here I'm thinking knight c8 because I don't see another way to defend the d6 pawn. Now we start trying to create some threats. Makes sense. Just protecting this knight. The bishop moves, I have b7. I think I can play knight e7. And I can play b7, right? Next move, knight c6 is gone. Yeah. Then b8. Such a bad opening. But then somehow I just got lucky. Playing fast helped. Sorry, Saj. Didn't intend anything personal or I didn't think it was. I didn't mean to target you. It was like a collateral thing, you know. Yeah, Arvind is playing TT. I think Arjun is playing TT today. Currently 26-01. Who's 26-01? Thank you, Saj. Thank you, Anshika. Here, here to watch my favorite streamer, and what did you say? Tanmay is like Goshimu, World Rapid, and Blitz, Stardust Steel. Yeah, correct. Possibly Prague, and now TP Sigma. And yeah, I also know of one more tournament where I think Vidit was planning to play and didn't end up playing. So it's been a lot of tournaments. Uh, but yeah, I think Vidit is in. He mentioned in one of the interviews about how he doesn't. He was having some kind of an existential crisis, existential question about whether he still enjoys playing or not. And it's something I can really relate to because uh, around I and Vidit are almost the same age, and it can get boring doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. It can get boring. There is just so many things outside of chess out there in the world that I can totally relate to. And especially in Vidit's case, he can actually potentially make more money outside of chess than by playing chess. I mean, even within chess, he can make more money by doing other things than just playing chess exclusively. So, I mean, he's a married man now, in a way, a family man, and I can totally understand if playing chess professionally takes a backseat in Wizard's life, and other things take the front seat. But having said that, the other option is having another shot at the candidates, perhaps the final shot in his life, because unlike Benjamin Button, he's not getting any younger. I don't know why I took c takes d5, almost by default, because I was supposed to insert a4 in first, and now white has a slightly better position. But let's try and pretend as if all of this is just knight e4 would be met by knight into d5. So I really regret not playing a4, because now the question is, how do we develop our pieces? Rook a7. Okay, I'll play rook a7. The idea is if he plays knight b5, I have a4. He doesn't fall for it. I guess the idea of rook d1 itself was to play this knight e5 and exert pressure on the d5 point. So just sadly defending in a sad way. Thus perfectly. Now c5 square, yeah, he jumps into it. Bishop a6 is just one more. Goes back in c2. Taking control of the c5 square for the moment. Bishop d2, there's bishop into e2 for the moment. So bishop f4, decent move. E5 is a tempting option, but doesn't feel right. I can do something like bishop b5, pushing him back. Let's just do this. I'm going to try and trade this knight. He goes bishop d6, there's a little trap. Takes. Knight b6, queen a3, knight c4. So bishop d6 is kind of what we were hoping for. Knight c5 doesn't feel... but knight c5 he takes with the queen. Then it's okay. Then it's not as bad. In this case, I think I'll take queen takes c5, he'll take rook b7. Now e2 is threatened, and next move we go a4, so that he doesn't have a4. And for now we are defending. His knight is out of the game, so at least we're not getting crushed under positional pressure. And we can hope for a rook e8, bishop f8 coming up in the future, and us getting the c5 break. So hopefully. b4 is an interesting idea. He's asking me to choose whether I want to take 8 takes b3 or not. I think I'll refrain from it, because I also get this c5 square in the future. But then he just defends with a3. Yeah, I really wanted to get a3 myself. Setting up a trap. She's probably not going to fall into. Now I feel like white is a bit better here. So bishop into b5, I want to take with the pawn. Improve my structure a little bit. Should have taken a into b3 when I had the chance though. But still we set some problems. And let's try and play a bit faster here. Bishop b5, in fact, I can take with the rook, so that I have e5 or g5 coming up. But rook b5 has queen d6. So I'll take with the pawn on. Still he has queen d6, but at least I've improved my structure. e5 allows queen g4 check, but also he gets his b5 pawn. So it's a decision that can work both ways. So first, get the queen out from here. Still, e5 is always going to be risky for me. So I think I'll try and play for the control of the c5. One of the rook will go to c4. Okay. I did not expect this, but so feels very questionable from him because I'm immediately getting e5. I think I'll take this pawn. If he takes, then I'll take with the rook. Now he loses all the pawns. This. Then we take on c5. I think. Okay, he goes rook e1, so we need. Oh, okay, this he blinded. It's a complete implosion by him. Because he was okay till a good amount of till a good point, but towards the end it was a complete implosion. How's the new MGD1 jersey? You should tell me. Hello Niels, what's up? Any plans to stream Freestyle Friday? Yeah, I mean I would love to, but somehow every Friday I end up having something or another. I feel like okay, Tuesday and Friday I want to keep it for myself, not do anything else. Hikaru was playing Jumbo. Jumbo is Jumabayo. So then how did Nihal do? I haven't yet set up a Hikaru is winning this one. I haven't yet set up a window where I have the Asian games on. The games from the Asian on. Arjun is also playing. He's winning completely. He has 2 queens on the chessboard. Just on the chessboard so far. I don't know what is live. I don't have a jersey, Anshika. How would I have the jersey? But let me open a non-streaming window and see what has happened on the Asian Championship. Vlogs and other journey content. I'll get featured in with its vlog. As I didn't vlog even when I was actually actively YouTubing. What makes you think I'll be vlogging in my inactive days? Nihal has won his game. He beat Jumaber. He moves to 5 out of 7, and the other results. Abhimanyu Puranik has he also had an early win, and Karthikeyan seems to have drawn. Pranesh has drawn. Leon seems to be fighting for a draw from what I can see. Not a very encouraging position. Earlier, Leon was completely better, but things have turned around, and now he's the one fighting for a draw. You told it 30 seconds ago. Huh? I didn't notice, Anshika. Not a word about the Hotel Kerala Purnia or his rating. Sure, I won't say anything. Means hire a content creator with MGD1. Yeah, sure. We'll need to do a crowdfunding for that. And maybe Anshika can be that content creator, but she's a very busy person. It's not so easy to get Anshika. She has offers from all over the place. and she's doing her cat as well. In fact, even the entrance exams are competing for Anshika. That first there was NEET, now there's cat, and God knows what it will be the next year. Just scrolling through the standings, we have 57 people with 3 out of 3. It's a lot of people. And yeah, we have the fourth round. I'm playing Root Makarian, who is actually a pretty strong player from Russia. Good player. As you can see from a rating of 3000, which I think is a pretty impressive rating in general. Okay, I took with the bishop, but if I had more time, I would have taken with the pawn. I regret the decision almost instantly. And look at the difference in speed already. He's playing much faster. Just take this goes into a completely equal position. He has some knight d3 related ideas, so stop it. Yeah, completely equal position. Okay, so the idea is to play b5. Go b4 myself, then he has knight a4, so we stop it with a4, which weakens my b4 square though. Go bishop e5, then what's his idea? Bishop d6, I can take bishop f6, which is not really something massive, but at least we have an imbalance. Other options, I think we should just go for the queen a7. Wow, seems like he anticipated my move. He was ready with his response. But what's he gets a queen to a8 eventually. Because of my very slow play, he's gotten himself into a good position. So let's what do we do? This improves the position a bit. So that queen 8, we go f3, knight d7, bishop g3. This sometimes there's a tactic with b4 and knight a6, but pretty unlikely to work. Yeah, sensible moves by him. Just knight b1 maybe. The idea of knight c3. Can just do knight a5 though. I really don't like how I handled this game so far. I've handled this poorly, and I think black is better. We'll soon start having problems with this pawn as well, and my speed is also very slow. This is not a good move, but we are forced to do it. I blended. I blended, and I'm pretty sure he will see it. Okay, so 3 out of 4 going into the break. Very poor fourth round, but okay. It was good while it lasted, and we have a long break now. Long break of 8 minutes. Oh, CAT is a lapse entrance exam. Is it? Yeah, passport can be done in 1 month in general. True. Hey Siddhant, thank you so much. Arjun, this is Arjun against some Turkish player called Ere Kilic, who has actually beaten Arjun a couple of times. You see the win loss head to head return here. He actually defeated him a couple of times, which is impressive. And this position is also not not so great for Arjun. F4 is attacked. Rook into B2 is coming in, and his opponent actually has more time than Arjun, which is also impressive. I think. Rook into E3. There's rook into B2 check. King F3. There's Queen E4 check, and he just takes on F4. That is at least one way Black can get better. He can also just take rook into B2 and rook F2, which is what he goes for. Arjun runs away with his king. He would have played king g4, queen e4 as well, so maybe that was not the best move, but just rook f2 now, followed by rook f8, should take care of things. But maybe it's not as easy as it looks to me, because if Arjun survives this attack, he's going to emerge with a piece up, and then it might not be so simple. Goes rook e4. Now rook into g2 check, I guess. King h3, and then maybe just some rook g5. But Arjun is hanging in there. King h3, now rook g5, I guess. Or should it be some rook f2 instead? Both the moves look tempting. Yeah, rook f2 is what he does. Rook into f2 will be met by a into f2, I guess. And now after knight b2, can we... Yeah, queen e5 with the idea of queen h5. Now, if Arjun can survive this next few moves, can turn this around. He's very slippery. Queen h5, queen f5, I guess. Okay, rook g4 now, king into f2. Now he's starting to slip. Now black has slipped a little bit. Still, rook b8 is covered by the queen. So maybe some queen g1 or queen h1. Queen h1, because after rook f4 check, king e2, there's no queen h5. He can play some queen g3 check though. Yeah, okay, king e2, and now rook f3, king f3. Sorry, rook e4, king f3. Black wants to keep the queens on at any cost because white's king is weaker. Makes sense. Queen c3 check now. Ah, black didn't have time, so he misses it. Rook d3 is the idea. Knight comes to the defense. Rook d3, king h7, and oh, he's blended the queen. He's blended the queen. Arjun has blended the queen. After putting up a very stiff defense, finally Arjun throws it away with the queen blender. Rook e1 would have kept the game going, I think. And then maybe Arjun could have won this. We can do what next year, Anshika? Okay, so Magnus also has made a draw, 3.5 out of 4. Mitrava is still playing. So, how is he doing? Mitrava lost against Hikaru. Okay, not quite unexpected. So that leaves only Pranav with 4 out of 4 amongst the Indians. There is also Arvind. So Arvind and Pranav with 4 out of 4. And aside from that, there is Esipenko, Bok, Svani. I don't know who this candidate master is from Switzerland, but also has 4 out of 4. Botnik, Jospam, Bluebomb. This, my opponent who defeated me, Rude Makarian, Roman Kajin, Muradli, and a lot of young players, and also some of the more experienced legends like Alexei Shiro with 4 out of 4. We also have a bunch of players with 3.5 out of 4. Sam Shankland, Alexei Sarana, Jeffrey Shong, Amin Tabatabai. This is, I think, Aydin Sulaiman Lee. Yeah, etc. Sina is playing against Sanal Wahab. But okay, since we have a long break coming up after the fourth round, also have a look at what's going on in the over the board tournaments. I'll probably need to change the scene a little bit for that. And I don't know why I disappeared. Where did I go? Oops. Where did I disappear? Okay, back. Okay, so what's going on in the Asian Championship? One of the games that's going on is a game between Leon against Madamino, strong player from Uzbekistan, young, strong, and fast. He would be playing Title Tuesday if he was not playing in the Asian Championship. And let me just turn on the evaluation bar as well. So here we go. Now, Leon is definitely fighting for a draw here, but I think he should be able to hold this game. Earlier, he was much better though. Around this point, he was completely better, and he had a massive, almost a -2, -3 kind of position. I think things started. He sacrificed an exchange at this point, but things started turning around here. What could he have done better though? I feel like this rook c2 itself was a bit unwarranted. Bishop b4 and rook c2, which eventually got him to get his rook trapped and had him in a situation where he had to sacrifice his exchange. This itself was unwarranted. But yeah, there were a lot of things here. Paradoxically, computer says rook into d2 was better than rook into b2. Probably because it allows, I don't know, I have no idea. Apparently, rook b8 was also going to be better here. So many better options, but around this point, white had gotten out of jail. And when they reached 40 moves, white was already in a much better situation. Now, he's an exchange down, but it's very hard for white to make progress in this position. So, probably going to be a draw. Earlier, Abhimanyu defeated Sina Moahed in one of the earliest wins in the round after black made a mistake with knight into e4 here. The top 10 from Asian Championship qualifies to the World Cup. Yes, Tanmay. So after today, uh, who all from India will have chances? I think Karthikeyan has the best chance for now. I saw him playing at the top for a really long time. He drew his game against Lubano today, so he goes to 5 out of 7. We also have Nihal, who has moved to 5 out of 7. These two players have the best chances, and I think around 6.5 should give a very realistic chance of qualifying to the World Cup. Now, another player who's playing right now is SL Narayan with 4 out of 6, and he's also completely better here. He has an extra pawn. So, SL with the black pieces, and he has his outside pass pawn. So, while the king is busy defending these pawns, SL can go ahead and try and march these pawns. So, he's someone who has a good chance as well if he wins. Amongst the other Indian results, uh, Ilam Parthi ended up losing today against Bai Jinshi, and Bharat also seems to have lost, although the game PGN is not correct. But good amongst the winners, Pranav Anand defeated his Chinese opponent. Setu defeated Setu defeated his opponent, and Srihari defeated Pranav in an all-Indian encounter. And I was also looking for this game of AD. which was really interesting sometime earlier. But now it seems to have reached a point where AD is the one who's completely winning. He has too many pieces out there. World Cup is in India. Will we have more wildcard spots? I have no idea actually uh, how it works. I need to see the regulations to see if the host country has any more. But I think Hari will get the Olympiad spot because, oops, has the game started or what? But there's a 6 minute break, right? Anshika, what are you saying? There's a 6 minute break. No, why are you making me panic? Why you do this? And it seems like not even all the games are finished. Such a typical Anshika thing. We still have 2 minutes more, so we can also have a look at the games from Super Wet Chess Classic from Romania. Duda has drawn against Prague, and MVL had the earliest draw today. The game lasted only 10 moves. So it leaves Alireza against Gukesh, which is in a thrilling point actually. Right now, White has played the knight to f5. So this bishop is on pre. The knight is attacked by more pieces by black. But if black takes this bishop, then white will play the queen to g3, check. And wherever the king moves, the white queen comes to g7, followed by queen into h8. So bishop into c4 would be a blunder. And against the threat of queen g3, black has to play bishop into f5. So that after queen g3 check, black can cover with bishop g4. But more importantly, to eliminate this dangerous knight on f5, black had to play bishop into f5, queen to g3 check, bishop g4, queen into f4, and this is how the game is going to continue for the next few moves. Oh, Gukesh has gone bishop to b8. So queen g3 check, he's intending knight to g6, but the position is crazy complex. Although this shoots up the evaluation bar by +2 for white, Alireza has barely any time. He goes queen g3 check. Gukesh will play knight g6 instantly. Alireza has just less than a minute, just under a minute, and he has to be accurate here to get this advantage against Gukesh. We'll get back to this as we need to get back to our title Tuesday. So I'm turning off the engine on this window and getting back to the title Tuesday window. I think we have just about a minute more and the game has begun. So I'm playing against Arith Kapil from India. And the game has begun. Round 5 has begun. How old is my opponent, Arith Kapil? Does anyone have any idea? Considering he's a candidate master, he should be someone young. Because candidate master is a title which is generally given to uh, the opening feels a bit weird. So candidate master is a title which was generally given to people who win age group events. It's a very slow development from white here, and I feel like challenging the center with d5. But should I prepare it with some e5 first? I think just go for this. He'll either take on d5 first and then so now my intention is to take here first and then take knight into d5. So there's a discard attack on the queen. Queen goes all the way back. So to prevent this knight from coming to c4, one idea for me would be to put my bishop here, but then the knight comes to b5. Yes, then I go queen b6. I'll go bishop e6 for now. Yeah, I'm going to b6. Okay, now maybe I can take. This gives him a bad pawn structure. And we can try and target this pawn. So one idea is to just go knight f6 and ask how he's going to defend this pawn. But I can also bring in more pieces into the game. Development. There are certain variations where this rook controlling the c2 point can be useful for. Okay, so rook to e1. Can I just go knight f6 here, or should I do something else? I think just knight f6 is simple enough. Threat is rook into d4, and now he really needs to. There's no way to defend, I think, this d4 point. But once he loses the d4 point, his pieces will get a bit active. Okay, so bishop to e3. I think I can take queen into b2. Attack this c2 bishop. Probably go bishop d3. So what do we do after bishop d3? Just do bishop d5 here. It looks good, yeah. Okay, but bishop d5, maybe some bishop g5 comes. What if I go back knight d4? b1, queen into a3. That is what I expected. Now he takes the b7 pawn, I guess. He'll probably take knight e3. f3, bishop d5. If he takes with the rook, then we have this pawn. So he takes with the bishop to d5, putting the bishop on a good square for now. Then next move maybe e5. But e5 might not even be necessary. I think I can just do rook c3. Rook c3 looks strong. Actually, I could have done this the previous moves. Do it now. Ah, I missed this one. I just missed defense. Should have done it the previous move. Okay, if it takes rook a7, I have rook in d3. Because he sees it, he goes back. Makes sense. Game is getting a bit faster now. Just come back. Or I like bishop e4. Taking the b1 square under control. That also threats like e5. He wants to come rook b2. Offering trade. More like forcing trade. 3 bishop c4. So for now, rook b8. Just stopping bishop c4 little, I guess. It's rook a1 though. Oops, I'm so low on time. Let's start hiding a bit. Hey, I'm not sure I'm winning this anymore. You could draw. Such a shame, such a good position. Okay, now I should just make a draw. It was just so winning the entire time. Even at this point, I could have just gone king e6. I don't know why I went king e5. Because he could king e5 was so stupid. King e6 and it's game over. Because earlier also it was completely winning. It was good stubborn defense by him. There were numerous ways to win for me, I'm sure. It was also such a panic move. King g6 was better, I think. Because he can't take bishop into c2 ever. His king is too far away. So I could have just gone king g6, king g5. Because he didn't need to play d6 here. He should have just waited and probably could have made a draw, I think. Okay, never mind. How did the others do? Hikaru won, Magnus won. What did the others do on 4 out of 4? Arvind won, Pranav drew, Arjun won. Just catching up with all the comments on the chat. Nihal and Arvind withdrew from Sharjah? Huh? But CCD clashing not doesn't make sense because they can play from Sharjah. And it's a massive thing, no? Like to withdraw from an entire tournament. Surely they can just skip that particular round or something, no? Wow, Arith was born in 2015, so 10 years old. Nice, he's doing pretty well in this tournament so far. He's from Delhi, and okay, my next game has begun, so we'll get back to this. Playing an Iranian international master, Mirsad something something. Just sticking to my usual opening moves because we know how hopeless we get when we have to think. Seems a bit early to take this, but I think this is how we play it. It takes with the pawn, we go d4. It takes with the knight, then we continue with the double. It's a good positive sign that he's thinking so early on in the game. He does take with the pawn. Bishop d4, bishop c3, queen a5, queen d2. Now knight e4, there's knight into c6. A nice little trap. Bishop c3, we take with the queen. Go into a slightly better endgame. So it's very slight. Yeah, we'll go for the endgame. I had enough of this heart-wrenching, nervy moments that happened in the last game. Regarding the last game, I should have just played faster early on, I think. Getting into this though, there's also a negative side effect of playing too fast. You make stupid moves. But then if you play too slow, then you get too less time. Okay, thank God we didn't play that. I can probably slow down a bit though. Speed at which I'm going right now seems a little unnecessarily fast. Probably he prefers to keep the king in the center anyhow, so I don't really gain anything from this. Whatever I did. Knight d1, there's rook c2 check. Position feels flat. Flatly equal. But it is blitz, and as we keep playing, keep making moves quickly, something can happen. Yeah, I thought he would do this. I thought he would want to trade everything down on the c5. If he gives me a chance, I can put. Okay, but then he goes 97 anyhow. I generously gave him a tempo there, so I just take and then put the knight back to c3. So that nothing gets traded, and put this rook on e1 and pretend if I go b4, here's knight d7. Then I do have g4, but that's nothing major. Can play a3, or maybe I can just do rook c1. Not sure which of these two is. This b5 off is I don't quite like for him. I also like bishop d3 here. Maybe I'll just do this. Bishop into d3, king into d3. So we're into a pure knight. Okay, not a pure knight endgame. There are also rooks on the board. But I feel this weakening of c5 square might have some uses for me later. So the rook can potentially come to e1. Yeah, knight e7 makes sense. This knight can also go to these squares. So far his play has been quite decent, although low. Trying to change the pawn structure dynamics. J into h5 or knight e2. These two options are possible. I think I'll just go knight e2. Oh, I just completely missed that pawn was going. Unbelievable. I can take this. Knight into f3, rook f1, knight g5, rook f5. Yes, f6, knight f4. This pawn is hanging, so at least I get my pawn back. Although my pieces are not quite ideally placed. Okay, h6 also. And rook d5, these are the options. I think I'll go h6. Gives him more choices. No, king f2 is only no. Seems like we are heading towards a draw. Wait, this is what I was expecting. Now he's going to lose on time, I think. The art of lagging. Hi, Devash. Yeah, you're not going to be a bit longer here to be a mod, to qualify to be a mod. Hi, Mikasa, what's up? Wow, good to see you here. Sound is very low, is it? I can try and increase the Are we back? I think we are back. Okay. This time I'm not going to fiddle with any of the buttons. Just going to 30-second timeouts against a 2700, a world class player. What a. And I ended up playing completely, something I'm completely unfamiliar with. Bad, 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 bad start, bad signs. I got into a very defensive opening, and this opening I have is it's equal objectively, but I don't quite remember how black is supposed to play. So I'm just going to try and put pieces on good squares. At least we are equalized on time, but this is what happens when you don't stream regularly. Getting some e4. Okay, he goes bishop g5. And bishop e3 is also fine. Ideas like b4 in the future. Go e4. Let's just go do bishop e2. I kind of want to just get e4 and anyhow. While I can. Just restricting his bishop. This was my idea. Apparently, there's something wrong with it. Or maybe not. At least we've equalized on time for the moment. Yeah, makes sense. He needs to protect this d pawn at any cost. And for us, it's the same thing. We need to try and attack the d pawn at any cost. How do we do that? Maybe rook c6. There are options to play b6 also. Rook d1, if I play b6 now, he has d7 and it's winning. So I need to attack with the queen first. But now b6 is a threat. Although it's not such a massive threat because I can't really take queen d7 even if I get b6. Can maybe do some knight d5. Knight d5 I can do rook e6 though. Also, there are options to play knight e8 and get this. Yeah, knight b5. Can I do rook a6? Or should I just do 98, 96? I think I'll play rook a6 for now. Ah, bishop d4 is a good move. Strong move by him, I think. But I found a tactic. Queen b5, bishop f6, I have rook into d6. That can be a game changer. I am sure he missed this. Although for him, it's not quite losing, I think. Can I attack this queen somehow? Like queen f5 or something? Let's go queen e2. So, I guess he got a bit lucky there. Queen d4 check, yes. Need to hurry up a lot here. Get it too slow. I'd be happy with a draw here because I have two less time. And objectively, the position is totally fine for me. But he has the option to create an outside pass pawn, which can get very dangerous for me. So that is the problem. Queen f4, there's a little trap. Always. Blended that. Now we can play for a line. To take the king towards the pawn. Of triangulation. Hey, time. What am I doing? I use the worst technique possible. This is a draw. Okay, I'll make a draw. Ah, can't believe I didn't win this one. Okay, 5 seconds. Okay, the next game has already begun. Three for this time. Something more sharp. Yeah, this variation has been trending a bit recently. Feels like Black has a fine position out of the open and not getting any of my usual initiative that I is supposed to get in these types of positions. Yeah, I don't quite like what I have gotten myself into. Maybe playing e4 was not the best idea. f4 means knight g3 is there, so try to get out of danger. Try to trade the queens off and go into the endgame. At least I won't get mated immediately. Certainly feels wrong, but I also feel that feels very wrong. I also feel like going on the offensive, but without my light square bishop, my entire strategy feels wrong. For this. This game feels like I'm going to lose badly. He has a really nice position. Should be like -2, -3. 95 is very strong for. Okay, this is also good for black, but kind of hoping that it gives me some salvaging chance. But only some chances, not much. The problem is the rook is coming to e8 and e2. Also, the problem is I'm playing badly and slowly. The deadly combination. I missed it. Goes rook e2 next, I guess. Yeah, of course. Knight d4 next, I'm sure. Now his pieces are entering my position in such a way that I'm going to be losing material. Knight e5. Knight d4 and he was just completely winning. Okay, this is also winning for him though, completely. Just defending, hanging on. Okay, but here's rook b3. He's one pawn back. Good finish. And like me in my earlier winning games, he converted this cleanly. Yeah, the voice was gone due to some kind of a loose connection. Akash, if you thought I'm the mentor, then how is that company a fraud company? Doesn't state anywhere that I'll be the mentor, no? It states that I'll be one of the coaches and I do camps from time to time. The mentor system is completely different. 5 out of 8. And another loss just before the break. Okay, so getting back to a more normalish mood, Arvind has managed to flag his opponent. He moves on to 6.5 out of 8. And Pranav also has 6.5 out of 8. The lead is Magnus and the Ukrainian kid, Igor Saminenko. Hikaru also has 7 out of 8, along with a number of others, including Parham, Wonderful Time, Eshipenko, etc. And then there are a range of people at 6.5. Losing last game was quite bad. And Arjun has 5.5. So he kind of. Let's have a look at what's going on in Asian. The actual chess over the board. Oh, yeah. There's also the Firouzja Gukesh game, which we had left at this point around bishop b8. How did this continue? Firouzja played queen g3 check, knight g6, bishop into e6, queen into e6, queen e3, attacking this pawn, bishop to a7 by Gukesh. It went into this endgame where Alireza was completely better. Black king is still in danger. The knight is completely superior to the bishop. Gukesh tries to trade queens, and he played queen g4. Rook e4 was apparently a stronger move, but not something that you can easily spot with just 1 minute remaining. So white plays queen g4, gives Gukesh a glimpse of hope. H into g4 happened. Now rook e4 with the idea of rook into g4, rook e1, and now Gukesh managed to get something back. Knight f5, bishop into b2, rook e4, bishop c3, 4 versus 4 endgame. Rook b1, b5, takes, h4, b4. And by the time the 40th move reached, Gukesh tried to defend by sacrificing the exchange. And this position seems holdable for black because he has this b pawn. White has the h passer, but it's not so easy to bring the king in such a way that the h pawn can advance. And so I think Gukesh has a decent chance of holding this. In the other game, Fabiano against DH Bogdan, this is 3 pawns for white against a knight. In general, these 3 pawns against a knight should be better for white, but with so many pieces around, it makes things more complex. But in general, Fabi is the one who's clearly playing for a win, and likewise, it's the same with Alireza also. What's going on in Asian, particularly Leon's game? He ended up losing. He had decent defensive chances around this point, but the tournament, White had to get this G7 pawn somehow, and he managed to get it at this point. H into G4, H4 was a good move. If White took H into G4, then it's probably holdable. But H4 and H5 made sure that he was forced to lose the G7 pawn. If Rook G5 was just Rook C8 and Rook E8, threatening a mate. Rook into H5, Rook H8 check, King G6, and now Rook C6 check, winning. So he ended up playing Rook D6 and ended up losing. SL is winning though. SL is beating Suyaro. And Adiban also managed to win. He beat Tan Junior. I think that's almost all the games in Asian. So getting back to the Grand Prix, Vaishali lost today against Kostin. So was the final position, although the position was already quite bad for her. Around this point, White was beginning to outplay her. Rook into e4 was a nice move by White, sacrificing the exchange, making use of this tactic, and got into this point where White is a pawn up. Bishop a4 was the final. Tan Zhongyi is also, she also won. But who has been most impressive in the Grand Prix the whole cycle is Zhu Zhena, who did quite well in Pune, and here she lost the first two games, but she has gone on to win the next uh, 5 games, next 4 games, and if she wins this, it could be her fifth win in a row. So super, it's super impressive to bounce back from the last, from losing the first 2 games to win the next 5 in a row. Yeah, back to the Tilted Tuesday. Yeah, YouTube has more ads. Amazon Prime is coming up with ads, and we have to pay more to get out of the ads apparently. And well, with YouTube, you can get YouTube Premium though. I mean, it's not like I'm asking for membership on my channel, but YouTube Premium does get rid of ads, and it also supports the creators. Again, not talking about myself here. I'm more of a casual streamer. I mean, it feels wrong to even call myself a streamer anymore, considering the frequency of my streams. But yeah, for the actual creators, those who actually use YouTube, back on just on time. Actually, forgot that I didn't play music on the stream. It's also because I didn't really renew my Spotify subscription. The first D4 that I'm facing today, I faced all E4s. This is my tilt opening. It's called as a tilt defense. So we started with around 550 players. It's around 650 players now. Now I'm actually more curious to. Yeah, there is an interesting line with rook into e3 here. I'll just go for it. Exchange sacrifice. A positional exchange sacrifice. So very long time ago, there were people who just simply didn't know this is white. But now, as you can see, he has blended this. Thank you. Now we have a good position. Got back the exchange and we have a slightly better pawn structure. Just developing. Next we'll bring the rook. Kind of hoping, yeah. Hoping he falls for this. Yeah, he does. Rook e3 will go f4. It was fast. Who's tilted, huh? Tilted Tuesday, yes, but who's tilted? Okay, so this is time to look at the Magnus game. Magnus against Yor Samonenko, or should we look at someone else instead of Magnus? Magnus or anyone else, chat? Who should we have a look at? We have an entire round. The next 5 minutes, we can look at anyone's game. It can be Hikaru, it can be Arjun. Magnus has a normal position. Hikaru has a boring Carlsbad structure against Jospin, one of the title to the legends. Magnus Yeah, I mean normal position. I don't know if I'm able. Yeah, I can use the evaluation bar apparently. So it's a bit too early to comment anything about the game. The position is just equal. A very interesting position going on. A very interesting game. Arjun has 5 out of 8, so not much relevance to the tournament at all. He's playing an Indian international master called Losing Experience. This is L. Srihari, who is different from LR Srihari. So there are two Sriharis in Indian chess. One is L. Srihari from Pondicherry. The other is Elhar Srihari. I think he's from Chennai. So like how we have two Narayanans, we also have two Sriharis. Arjun will win this one easily, I think. Mitraba also has 6 out of 8. Amongst Indians, I see Pranav has a good score. 6 out of 8. Oh, it's Arvind versus Pranav. Wow. Arvind versus Pranav, and Pranav has a good position so far. White's king is so exposed. Although the computer says the evaluation is close to 0.00 equal. But yeah, I think black is definitely better, but Arvind has more time. Arvind has started playing a bit faster, maybe. So he's playing faster, he's playing stronger, he's playing better. He's turned into a completely different person than what he used to be. So Queen F5 played. Now Queen F4. But Queen F4 also makes it easier for white. So this position is not as bad for white as it initially appeared to me. These pieces look menacing, but white is a pawn up. Some knight c6, knight h6 check. White could actually flip this around completely. Oh, knight c6 is a blunder. Bishop a c6, d2 is hanging, but maybe queen c3, something like this. I like queen c3, followed by threats of knight c6. But then d5 will get taken. So what exactly does that mean? Maybe he was also counting on knight c6 at first here. The computer says it's +1, but I honestly don't see why this is such a big plus. Seems maybe is it knight e5? I have no clue actually. Queen e2 maybe. He goes knight e5 and it keeps most of the advantage. So knight e5 is a good move. Allows queen into h3 though, which I expect Pranav to take. But then Arvind is also expecting Pranav to take, and he's probably ready with his next move, rook to e3. The queen is attacked. The queen probably moves back. Yes, Anshika, it was liberating to play without the Chinchika effect. This is very interesting. Bishop into c6, knight into c6, queen c6, d c6, and rook into d2 is interesting, but seems unlikely to work, I think. Some rook e8 and c7. Rook e8 looks very dangerous. So I think Pranav will just do. Oh, he goes for it. Rook e8 now. Rook e8, rook into b2. c7, rook c2. This is probably what Pranav is counting on, but the position looks more dangerous for black than for white. Oh, he simply has rook d8 and bishop d6. I did not see this, but now what? Bishop d6, bishop e5. Arvind is right up with his replies. Bishop into c7, bishop into c7. Black is a pawn up, but the knights are very out of place, and I think Arvind has taken the advantage in this game. Knight f6, good move, bringing the knight back into the game. Rook g3 makes sense, defending the g4 point, attacking both g3 and h6. And now I no longer feel white is in the driver's seat. I think any three results are possible. Yeah, knight h6, bishop to b6, bishop f3, rook d2 maybe. Real win is the presence of His amazing fans. That is true. That is true. Look at these beautiful bishops. Fully compensates for being a pawn down. These knights, they're so short ranged, so limited. How to get this knight? G6? Knight F5? Yeah, I think Pranav will be happy to give up a pawn. Oh, rook into e6. Nice, but he missed knight h2 check. He missed knight h2 check. So in the end, Pranav actually manages to get a slight edge, but these bishops are too strong actually. Bishops are amazingly strong, but Pranav is very tricky with his knights in general. Rook b1, bishop d3 check, but he sees it. G6 maybe. This is a situation where I would definitely flag. I would get flagged. That is. Knight d3, he wants to come in. Yeah, very strong play by Pranav with just a few seconds remaining. Amazing play by him. Pranav's in a different league when he plays with. Oh, just takes and rook d6 check. Arvind missed that. Now just takes rook d4 and he wins. What a brilliant display of nerves by Pranav. Amazing, amazing play. Magnus meanwhile has drawn his game, so he goes to 8 points. Pranav goes to 7.5, and he's the best shot for an Indian player. Parham also manages to join the leaders at 8 out of 9. And a bunch of people on 7.5, a bunch of people on 7. Nepo has only 6.5. How did Arjun do? Arjun also has 6.5. Seems like Mitrava is still playing. He seems to be drawing. He's actually losing. He has a lot of time, but Mitrava is losing this one. Shankland has 7. Lee Kwang has 7. Mitrava is losing. Alright, so time to gear up for the next game. Yeah, that is true. I certainly have a lot more rating points than the number of. Oh, he managed to draw. Ah, he had a draw. Rook b1 he should have played. He had a draw, but he lost it because of his speed. And he's losing. Yeah, chess is so cruel. Okay, let's bring on the next game. Can't wait to finish Title Tuesday and then go and eat. Nikolai Vlasov. Seems like I've beaten him once before. Dutch defense. Okay, I'll go for mainline. Dutch defense is a nice opening to face actually. Important to meet e5 with e4 in these positions. Probably he'll do f4 here. Takes. Okay, this doesn't look bad for me at all. It's not sure about rook e3. Bishop g4 I have h3, so if he plays e4, I can do anything. I can put the knight on g5, I can put the knight on d2. So knight c6 makes sense. Let's say I take d takes e5. Should I put the queen on b3 or just play maybe bishop e3? Yeah, just put the queen on b3 for one more. Knight e5, queen c3. Now I regret playing queen b3. e4 attacks my knight, although I don't necessarily need to move it immediately, but I'll probably need to move it at some point. This phase of the game is very critical because if I can repel his counterplay, I'll probably get a massively winning position. But if I allow too much counterplay, it will get very tough for me. So I needed my bishop on e3 against e4 at this specific instance to cover the d4 point. And if I play knight h4, he goes knight d4. So I should probably put the knight on g5. So now knight d4, then maybe just queen to d1. So in this case, should the knight go to d2 or g5? I think it's almost the same thing. So let's just go for it. Knight g5, knight d4, queen d1. Okay, but he can play queen c6 and he still has a nice position. But now I can just take this right. He has no discard attack as far as I can see. Unless I'm missing something obvious, which happens all the time. But generally not against such opposition. Yeah, queen f7. Now, can I just do? He also threatens this. He threatens something here. So he has good activity. There's no question of it. I think I'll go bishop g5. Then bishop g5, you have problems with bishop e4. So I think I'll just defend with this. Need to not get too low on time either. Nearly pre-moved. But now he can take queen b2, so I think he's completely fine. Ah, but queen b2 have rook b7. This is what prompted him to stop. I didn't see this move, but I think I should be fine after rook g7 check. Compensation on the dark squares. And there is compensation, but the opponent seems to be confident and fast, which is not a good sign. Okay, I'm going to get one of the exchange back for sure. And I've also threatened to win a piece. Yeah, this is what I thought he would do. I can play knight into f5 here. Too many attractive options. Okay, my speed is really a problem. Been too slow in this game. Let me stop talking. Now we have games. Oh wow. It's a bit of a thriller. I was better the whole time I felt, but I played so slow. And this comes as a check. How could I not see that? Okay, F3 is also winning. But yeah, playing with 1 second is not easy. And apparently it's made in three in this position. But okay, let's see how Pranav did. Pranav won his game. He defeated Swane. So Pranav has 18 out of 10, a very real chance of having a top finish. And how is Arif doing after making a draw against me? So Arif lost his first game. He won the next three. He made a draw against me. He lost against Paulina, I think. Then he was on 5 out of 8. Pretty creditable performance for a 10-year-old. Then he lost against another IM. So he has 5 out of 9, and I guess this game is still ongoing. Hi, Amritansh. All right. So, time for the last game. I think 7 out of 10 has been a very decent performance this time. Surprisingly, I see some very illustrious games names with 7 out of 10. There's Nepo, there is Dennis Glaswick, there's Daniel Naroditsky, and Kramnik would be excited that Daniel is not quite at the top. There's someone called Sindaro Jr. I mean, Sindaro himself is quite small. Then there's a Sindaro Jr. Nanalar Kamrutansh Nebirkar. Okay, couple of games going on. And goes Anshika. That is your expectation of me, no? Nice ladder checkmate. Still one more game going. Okay, this should be a draw, but very less time for white. So you're a bigger fan than who? What were you following on now? Chess.com Anshika? The tournament. Okay, how did Arjun do by the way? Curious to see if I'm able to get more points than Arjun this time. Given this is one of his most horrible title Tuesdays ever, but he has more 7 out of 10. Arjun at his worst is still more points than me having a good title Tuesday. Yeah, this is boring. Black should probably just make a draw. It really is not going to make any difference. Maybe I should go on Sahaj's stream and play Title Tuesday once so that you have the evaluation bar the entire time. Ah, Sindaro Jr. is literally Sindaro's brother. How do you know everything in names? Andrikin also has 8 out of 10. Okay, let me see who has less points then. Actually, not many people. Not many strong players, I see. I guess instead of 7 out of 10, I should probably. Oh, finally, thank God. It's a draw. Thank God it's a draw. And there we have the last round. Anton Demchenko. A bit of a nemesis, I must say. He's beaten me 3 times, and I've beaten him once. We have one draw. Is E4. He's a London player usually. Very weird of playing. And get rid of this with an A6 in the future. I think this will prompt him to cancel shot. That's what I thought. This feels wrong by me. What do I want to do? I want D5. Feels wrong what I've done strategically. I'm just going with the flow anyhow because does it really matter so much whether I finish with 7 or 8 or 7.5? This will be a weakness long term. I hope he takes Bishop G7, so I have 92 check. But a player of Demchenko's level usually doesn't make such mistakes. So best I can do for the moment. This B6 pawn will be a long-term weakness for him. But he just wants to checkmate. Okay, let's get a knight to F6. I have a feeling I'm getting mated anyhow. Yeah, I'm getting mated because he gets queen h6 check and followed by knight e4. I shouldn't have allowed this. And I'm not getting mated. Like I can still survive. 6 queen h7 king f8. The position seems dead lost. Okay, let's just go for it. Knight h5 will be followed by knight g4. Okay. He just goes rook e1 now and finishes it off. No need to calculate this check and just rook e1 and it's game over. Knight g4 should also win for. Quite knockout though. It's not quite knockout, but how do I use it to try and get out of the jail? I should have thought earlier. Instead, I'm thinking now. It's the only way. I think rook f4 will play, I'll play rook a7. the rook for now. Bringing the rook into the game. I'll just get rid of the queens. Although this goes into a winning position for him, but still, with the queens off, my chances of surviving is a bit higher. Rook e5, I have f5. Probably he also sees this. If it's black to play, I'll play f5 anyhow. Rook g7. It's over it seems, so let's just go with it. Next I want rook g8. Needs to start coming after my pawns here. Yeah, that's what he's going for. We are equal on time. The hopeless position for me. Now not so hopeless. Opponent just playing out of inertia, but okay. Crazy turnaround, crazy win, and it ends a pretty good title Tuesday, 8 out of 11. I'm pretty pleased with the score. How did Pranav do at the end? Where is Pranav? Pranav lost. Pranav ends out of the top 5. He lost against Magnus, okay. Played against Magnus. So, a bit understandable, but also I guess he'll feel disappointed. Then Arvind also finishing with the 8. I also finished with 8. Arjun finished with 7.5. Okay. That's a nice feeling, I should say. Very childish, but a nice feeling. Because inside we are all children. And yeah, a lot of people with 7.5 out there. If there was a special Indian prize, that would be great. Then I think I'll be in the top 3 actually. Title Tuesday has become so much stronger than it used to be though. How can I manage chess and JEE together? See, we have the expert in all entrance exams and an expert at following chess, Anshika Catalanwani in the chat. She will be able to answer that question so much better than I can. Meanwhile, in the GCT, Gukesh is probably holding this, but it's going to be a tricky endgame. He's going to have to uh, suffer a bit before being able to get that half point. And Fabiano is he doesn't have he's still playing for a win, and he can win this because DH he is in time trouble. He has less than a minute, so the position still is complex. And looking at some of the other broadcasts like the Women Grand Prix, Yu Shiner has actually managed to win 5 games in a row. So this is brilliant performance by her. And she is a big favorite to go into the candidates. Her closest pursuer, Anna Muzichuk, has made a draw. So this is an unbelievably strong performance by Yu Shiner. She's just playing amazing. Meanwhile, in the Asian Championship, I think we have results of almost all the games. So we can just go through the results rather than just games out there. Just give me a second to open up the results tab. Oh, there is the standings. I finished 25th. Magnus wins. Andrikin is second. Parham is third. And 25th is something I'll take. Okay. There's no voice. So what I was saying is there are 6 people with 5 out of 7 in the Asian. There is um, Nihal, uh, Karthik and Murli. I mean, 6 Indians with 5 out of 7. The leader is with 6, Daneshwar. And there are 6 people. So Nihal, Karthik and Murli, SL Narayanan, then Abhimanyu Puranik, there is Setu and Pranavanith. All of them with 5 out of 7. Now there is voice, no? Now voice is proper. Yes, Akshita, I was muting for I was streaming for 2 hours muted. Take care, Mikasa. All right, chat. So with that, we will wrap up this stream today. I had a lot of fun playing the Title Tuesday. I play a few Title Tuesdays off stream, but the stream was almost like playing it off stream. I was not talking most of the time. I was really focusing on the games. I was trying to play well, and I was trying to talk whatever I can, but most of which I spoke was also all about what happens within the chessboard, which is probably not interesting to most people out there. But yeah, and I tried a few different things with the camera as well. So I'm not sure if you can feel that. But if you may have noticed, I was trying to make more eye contact uh, on the stream for most of the time. I don't know if it worked or not, but I was trying to use some settings where I was having more eye contact. Yes, also muted, which probably didn't make much of a difference, which is why I myself couldn't figure out the difference. And I forgot to play music. I forgot to renew my Spotify subscription. I forgot that These things are done on a stream, but you can imagine that seeing how rusty I am on streaming. But yeah, mostly it was fun. It's, I think, what my second Tidal Tuesday stream on this entire year. When was the last Tidal Tuesday stream? So I did one Freestyle Friday that was on 31st January, and before that, I did a Tidal Tuesday on 7th January earlier this year. So this is only the second Tidal Tuesday. And before we wrap, in case you haven't, do hit that like button so more people can discover it later. Very useful feature for people like Anshika, who watches a lot of old streams, and it will be immensely useful for her because I might go on a streaming drought. I might end up not streaming for the next 5 years or something, and she will need these streams to come on her recommendation and other people like her, which probably there's no one else. But yeah, thank you so much, all of you, for tuning in. And that was a lot of fun. Bye bye, everyone. See you.